Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna work on making fire starters for your campfire this summer. Come along as I show you how we do this. To start with, what do we need? We need some lint or something that's combustible. Some people use shredded newspaper, some people use sawdust. So something that's easily combustible. We have some egg cartons. This one's a cardboard type of egg carton, so this will burn easily. Some people will use a toilet paper roll, and other people will even use a paper towel roll. Something like this, though, you may want to cut it down to probably in thirds, because this in and of itself would be a little bit too big. And then we need something that's going to melt slowly or burn slowly. So in this case, we're using wax. We have some wax left over from our candle lantern that they're getting a little too low. We thought that'd be perfect to keep for making fire starters. We also got a huge pack of tea lights from IKEA. It's going to take forever for us to use this many. So we decided to use some of these for making our fire starters also. So let's see how it works. To start with, I've got an egg carton here. We don't need the whole thing though, we just kind of need this middle part that holds the eggs. Just separate the top and the side piece and put those off to the side. And then, like I said, either use some lint, newspaper, or some sawdust. I'm sure there's other things you could use too, but those are probably the most common things I see people using when they make fire starters. So you just kind of stuff them in the little sections where the eggs would sit. And then you're all set. If you're using a toilet paper roll, same type of thing. You just take some of that lint, break it up a little bit, and stuff it in there until you got a nice little snug fit with all the lint inside. But if we just put this in the fire by itself, it'd burn way too quick and easy, and it would not give us the benefit of what we're looking for making a fire starter. So to make it burn a little slower, we put some wax on it, and that will help with the slow burn. So let's go over to the stove and see how that part works. All right, now that we're over at the stove, I'm gonna make a double boiler to help melt the wax. So I've got a small pan with a little bit of water in the bottom that we're gonna heat up. So it may take a little time for that to heat up, but then I'm gonna take a jar, and I'll set that in the water. And then I've got some of my candles. I can put those in the jar. And then I've got one of these tea lights. They said we've got a bunch of, and you just kind of pull on the wick, and that will fall in there too. So now we just need to give it time to melt, and we'll go from there. As you can see, some of our wax is starting to melt already. All right, now the wax is all nicely melted, but because they were candles, there was wicks and a little metal piece that were still part of it. I should have warmed these up because they are getting waxy. I'm going to take this, help me pour. So we'll start. This does use quite a bit of wax. I just did a little bit to get started. It'll take me more time to continue melting more wax, but I want to make sure that you have good coverage on the ones that you do have. That's the start, and you just keep on going until you feel like you have enough of them made. And it really doesn't take that long. If you want to make them again at another time, it doesn't take much time to just put it all together. So I think we'd actually put a little bit more wax on these to make sure that it's well covered. But once we have done that and it's dried, we'd cut each of these into individual fire starters. We have found that these have worked really well when we have that damp wood that just does not want to start. It just sits there and smokes and smokes. Having something like this that's a little bit slower, longer burn really helps to get that fire going. That's really all there is to it. It's not that difficult. Do you make your own fire starters? And if so, what do you do and what do you use in your fire starters? Do you use the lint? Do you use something different? Comment down below. We'd love to hear how you use them. And if you don't, why don't you make your own? Thanks again for joining us in this episode. So like, share, and subscribe. And remember, get out and do some camping. See you on the next one. Bye.